You sleep rather soundly for a murderer. That's good.
This is the beginning of the best questline ever, and it can start completely by accident. After killing an innocent, non-essential meatbag, you are woken up in the dead of night by a man named Lucien LeChance, and he has one job for you if you wish to accept it. Bro, what is happening? Find and kill a man named Rufio, residing in the Inn of Ill-Omen just north of the town of Bravo. If you do this, your initiation into the Dark Brotherhood is complete. You don't really know why somebody wants him dead. You just get the assignment without really knowing why you need to kill them. And that goes for pretty much every contract you get. You're just given the job and expected to fulfill it. But old Rufio here, if you do a little bit of digging, you'll understand why he deserved this fate. Once you kill Rufio, Lucien will come find you, appearing exactly like he did the first time. By committing that murder, Rufio's blood becomes the ink that bonds you to the Brotherhood. Ugh. Lucien then provides you directions to their sanctuary in Cheydinhal, which is the best town in the entire game. And this is where the questline truly begins.
What is the color of night?
One second. Sanguine, bro! The interior is exactly what you would expect from a hideout housing a bunch of assassins. It's dimly lit. The decor is minimalistic, but it makes it clear that we are in a Dark Brotherhood sanctuary. It's small, but just large enough to allow each member some space. There's also a freaking skeleton patrolling the area. It properly sets the tone for the quest we are about to undertake. But first, we need to introduce ourselves to our brothers and sisters. Hey, what's up, fellow murderer? You'd think the type of people joining a guild of assassins would be dark and serious, but most of them are actually quite friendly and welcoming. They seem genuinely excited there's a newbie in their ranks. I guess gleeful killers are desperate for like-minded companionship too. My favorite is the orc Gogrod, who is hilarious, and I don't even think he realizes it.
This one time I had a contract to kill a little Nord girl at her birthday party. She asked me if I was the jester. So I said to her, no, I'm a messenger of death. You should have seen the look on her face. Anyway, she won't be seeing age 6.
They're all so different and interesting, except this mangy asshole of a cat. I hate you, pussy! After making your introductions, Ochiva, the Argonian leader of this particular group of merry murderers, will point you in the direction of Vicente Valtieri, who is the most vampire-looking vampire I have ever seen. Even if you had no clue that vampires existed in the Elder Scrolls universe, just one look at this guy and you know he's sucking blood 100%. He even offers to turn you into a vampire as well if you want a dash of the rhythm too, but you have to prove yourself and get through his contracts first. These contracts all serve as a way to give you a feel for the type of shenanigans the Dark Brotherhood gets into. They present a lot of variety in how you can approach them and complete them, and that's really the core of what makes the Dark Brotherhood questline so good. Each quest is a little bit different, which provides multiple ways to approach them, and it incentivizes you as an aspiring assassin to get creative. The first contract is probably the most straightforward one though. The captain of these pirates has angered somebody during their plundering and stole something he shouldn't have. So you are to head to the Imperial City, locate Gaston Tussaud, and snuff him out. While you can just walk onto his boat, kill him and his crew, and then turn in the contract, that is typically discouraged because we are not the Fighters Guild. We are the Dark Brotherhood, and we have standards. We value discretion, and we provide bonuses for keeping a low profile. This particular contract does not have a bonus though, but we do have a few options to avoid the combat-heavy route. You can always figure these things out for yourself, but your fellow brothers and sisters usually have some helpful advice. The easiest way to get on the ship is by hiding in a crate and waiting for the crew to load you on. Then slip out and work your way up to the captain's quarters. You can also sneak onto the balcony and break in this way. Whatever your approach is, you can kill him in any manner you deem fit, but you can't hang around too long, otherwise some of his crew comes to check on him, and they will attack you on spot if you're still there. It's a good opening contract to test your merit as an assassin. It's honestly the most forgettable quest, which is probably why they put it at the start. It's in the next 3 contracts where the Dark Brotherhood questline begins to set itself apart from the rest of Oblivion. Our second contract brings us to Bruma, where we need to locate a wood elf named Bainlin. His death has to look like an accident though, which makes you feel a little bit like a medieval Agent 47. Hey, they're like twins. Now the primary problem is that Bainlin is rich and antisocial, so he spends all of his time indoors alongside his manservant Grom. He's basically the opposite of Bainlin, and he's not somebody you want to pick a fight with. That means you need to find a way to sneak inside and avoid the big guy, especially if you want the bonus. When you first get this contract from Vicente, he lays out Bainlin's entire routine, which indicates that whoever summoned us to kill him is somewhat close to him. This is important in staging the accident that will result in his demise. There's a very heavy Minotaur's head mounted right above his favorite reading spot, which will be perfect for doing that. So, after breaking into the house unseen, you have to climb into the crawl space, wait until he's plopped down in his chair, then loosen those fastenings while he reads. It falls, and little Bainlin's head now resembles a bowl. Sneaking back out is probably the most difficult part because Grom just stands there distraught. I waited, I took a nap, and I even read for a while afterwards, and he just stood there as if he blue screened in real life. It is honestly a little sad though if you sit there and listen to them have conversations with one another, because they genuinely seem to enjoy each other's company. So once the deed is done, Grom winds up at the local tavern, drowning his sorrows constantly. Grom, dude, please slow down. While Bainlin's nephew gleefully takes over his assets before his uncle's body is even cold. Doesn't take much detective work to figure out who took the contract out on this one, you greedy little bitch. The third contract gives us the opportunity to dole out some justice to that snarky little Dunmer who taunts you in the opening seconds of the game. Vicente makes a comment about being familiar with the sewer entrance, meaning he somehow knows that we were there the night of the Emperor's death. It's a reminder that the Dark Brotherhood is a powerful, all-seeing organization that is somehow able to monitor all of your actions even when you think they aren't watching. Oh my god. There is a lore reason for this that we'll visit towards the end, but for now, we need to worry about sneaking through these sewers without being seen. This quest gives us our biggest sneaking challenge to date, avoiding the guards who are begrudgingly stationed down there. They are none too happy about wading through the doo-doo of the Imperial City when there is just one lifelong criminal being kept in the prison, and maybe that pissed them off enough to summon the Brotherhood. Whether or not they did, the Brotherhood answers. I personally give Vaylin a sliver of hope unlocking his cell just to cut him down before he's able to take a single step out of it. The fourth and final contract with Vicente is counter to what the Brotherhood is known for. Instead, you are to fake a man's death in order for him to avoid certain death. His debts have finally caught up to him, so you are given a dagger laced with a special poison that puts people into a near-death state. That has to be done right in front of his would-be assassin, so Francois' death can be properly reported to his debtors. The lesser assassin gets big mad. He can't fulfill his bloodlust, so he chases us through Coral, but he's too slow to follow us out of the city. Then the following day, you return to revive him so he can flee the country, and his debtor is none the wiser. There is no death at all if done properly. These first 4 contracts have all given us something completely different to do, already giving us more gameplay variety than most of the game's other quests. The first contract is a pretty normal assassination, but the second takes a page from the Hitman playbook, the third is a strong test in stealth, and the fourth doesn't involve murder at all. The Brotherhood faces all kinds of interesting challenges, and we as the newest member get to experience those firsthand. With those contracts done, you're given the choice to accept or decline Vicente's offer to become a vampire, and then you start taking contracts from the Sanctuary leader, Ochiva. And this is when the Dark Brotherhood questline becomes one of the best in RPG history and my personal favorite of all time. Her first assignment is probably my second favorite of all the contracts. There's an elf named Phalion somewhere in the Imperial City who is so addicted to skooma that he has effectively thrown his life away. He used to be a rich noble, but the only thing he cares about now is taking fat rips and fat sips of skooma. The best part about this quest is you are required to do some detective work in order to locate Phalion. Hey guard, can I talk to you about this elf? He's been shoving skooma up his butt. The only direction that you are given is that he's somewhere within the Imperial City and that he enjoys long walks. Oh my god. Funnily enough, I actually ran into him in the street on his way to his little drug den, where I dispatched him in secret. If you aren't that lucky though, you need to ask around. eventually finding out that he has a partner that has watched him go from a noble gentleman into an absolute degenerate. It's a little bit sad listening to her lament about their past, and while I haven't seen any concrete evidence to suggest this, I believe she's the one that summoned the Dark Brotherhood. Her talking about the empty house he uses to get blazed in tipped me off. The house belonged to a man named Lorkmere, but you quickly find out that he was murdered and left in the basement by Phalion. Atrena could have followed him to find out where he's going for hours on end and discovered he killed Lorkmere in a drug frenzy. She watched her partner spiral into a murderer, which will undoubtedly make her feel unsafe. Then, not wanting to face the shame of your once noble partner turning into this. Skooma? Well, that could cause her to seek alternative solutions instead of the Imperial Guard. It's a really fun quest that kind of brings back the feeling Morrowind gave me. That game just throws you into it and forces you to figure things out by interacting with the world. Oblivion tends to hold your hand a lot more than Morrowind does, but this particular contract has you become an investigator, and I love it for that. Admittedly, the next contract isn't as memorable because it's already pretty similar to the prison break-in that we did with Vicente. This time, we are going after a warlord who is basically on death's door anyway. He's being kept alive by a medicine that you are to replace with a poison. This seems to have been ordered by his men who are just watching Roderick rot in bed. You sneak into an abandoned fort using this door, then you replace the medicine, and then you sneak out. Nice and simple. However, that gets followed up by one of, if not the best quest Bethesda has ever created. Whodunit is a murder mystery in the same vein as Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. There are 5 people lured to a house in Skingrad under the guise of finding a chest full of gold. But the gold does not exist. And as soon as you enter the front door, the entrance gets locked behind you. They believe the chest contains the key out of here, but unbeknownst to them, you hold that key. Dude, you aren't actually eating anything. What are you doing? Okay, I'm killing you next. The goal is to kill all 5 guests without the others finding out it's you. No other quest pulled me in quite like this one did. I was so heavily invested into being the charming late arrival that was secretly manipulating everybody else. Immediately after entering, I made friends with this racist old lady, and I promised I would team up with her to find and split the gold. Then encouraged her to go check in the basement and yeah! But this quest gets a whole lot more fun when you convince the guests into doing your bidding. Personally, I stoked the flames of hatred between Neville and Nels and saved them for last.
Walk away from me now, barbarian, or you'll regret your arrogance.
I was done with you anyway. I can only talk to an ex-Legion pig for so long before my ears start bleeding. Besides, I need a drink.
That way, they would fight each other, and I would be left with a single survivor. What I didn't expect was for Nels the Naughty to be Nels the Bitch, though. He talks all that trash and he takes one single hit like this. Somehow, this fool doesn't connect the dots and still thinks I'm innocent. Until I blow his back out. Not like that. That ending is just one of many combinations, though. And that's why I think it's Bethesda's single greatest quest. It encapsulates why people love their games so much. It gives us the freedom to accomplish our mission how we see fit, and it reinforces that we are a badass assassin that is taking these people out simply because a person who we do not know performed the proper ritual to summon the Dark Brotherhood to carry out these murders. It's the only quest I made sure I had a separate save file for, so I could go back whenever I felt like running through it again. Admittedly, the rest of the quest isn't quite this good, but that doesn't mean it's still not great. Ochiva's last contract has you performing a murder specifically requested by the Black Hand. If you're not familiar, the Black Hand is a sort of council that contains 1 listener and 4 speakers, making up the 5 phalanges of the hand. The listener takes orders from the Night Mother, who then takes those orders and passes them off to the speakers. The speakers will relay those orders to any of the sanctuaries littered throughout Cyrodiil. We only ever see the Shadenhall one, but apparently there are more sprinkled throughout Cyrodiil. The Brotherhood is sick of the retiring Imperial Commander Adamatus Philida meddling in their affairs, who by the way has a great frickin' name. Adamatus Philida just rolls off the tongue, like syphilis. The Brotherhood doesn't want Philadic to enjoy retired life. They want him dead. But they can't just kill him, they need to send a message to his successor. We're given an enchanted arrow, but it can't puncture his armor. so you must wait for him to strip down before impaling him with it. Then you cut his finger off and toss that sucker in the current commander's desk to send a message. It's pretty brutal, and it's far more personal than any of the prior quests. It's a testament to why the Dark Brotherhood is tolerated throughout Tamriel. They know all, and they will put an end to any unwanted meddling in their affairs. From a player perspective, it's pretty satisfying being able to enact some sanctioned violence against the Imperial Guard, because up to this point we have definitely heard this at least a couple dozen times.
Stop! You violated the law.
So this is just a little bit of payback for constantly gatekeeping our fun. I hope you enjoyed your time with these quests, because things are about to change drastically. What is happening right now? Uchiva hands over a sealed envelope from Lucien Lechance, who wants us to go meet him at his hideout right outside of Shadenhall. The Black Hand has discovered a traitor amongst them, and their actions date back to before we joined the Dark Brotherhood, so we are the only ones Lucien can trust to root them out. This was a pretty difficult ask from Lucien if you spent the time getting to know these people. Except for you, hey, psst, psst. Each and every one of them has their own unique personality, and they are all likable in their own way. There's a little side quest you can do for Tainava that earns both his and Ochiva's thanks. Shoot, even Rajadar warms up to you eventually.
I know from now on, you and I are going to be great friends.
But the best parts come when you just sit there and let the Radiant AI do its thing. What are you staring at? It's a major reason why Oblivion as a whole is so replayable, because the NPCs genuinely seem like real characters that exist in this world and not just props meant to fill it. You can overhear your brothers and sisters discussing their contracts, along with their successes and their failures.
Not only did you eliminate the target, but his 6 Imperial Legion escorts as well. Most impressive.
All right, so I may have gotten a bit careless, but the contract was fulfilled, wasn't it?
It's just a shame they all have to die. After slaughtering your fellow assassins, Lucien then promotes us to Silencer. Silencers do the personal bidding of the Black Hand, so moving forward, we will only take orders directly from Lucien. But he can't have us constantly visiting him here. So moving forward, he will communicate with us via dead drops. The first one has us taking on a challenging opponent in here. There is a powerful mage who is in the process of turning himself into a lich. We know the cave he is residing in, but we have no idea how far along he is. Luckily, mages like to keep extensive records, so after a bit of reading, we know to just pluck an hourglass off of him and he'll die immediately. Oh my god, this is so much. This is too much. Lucien's second dead drop is probably my third overall favorite in this whole quest line. It has us seek out and destroy the entire Draconis family bloodline. The mom hands over her kids' locations after mistaking us for a gift courier, which isn't far from the truth, I guess. Her kids reside all over Cyrodiil, and that brings me to another aspect of this questline that I love so much. You are traveling all over the country, visiting every single city and many places within the countryside. That means it forces you to visit various places in the game that you may not have paid attention to. We know the Dark Brotherhood is an expansive network of assassins, and we truly feel that when traveling across the country. Hey, just grab this dude's crap, his partner is clueless. Once the Draconis family bloodline is kaput, the quest starts to take a very strange turn. The orders are far more straightforward and slightly unhinged.
Find and murder the lusty Argonian. Earn a 500 gold bonus if you snort this Khajiit's ashes before you do it.
What in Akatosh's name? The targets are all very capable fighters, and the drops are now coming in just a letter instead of a sealed envelope, and if you compare them side by side, you'll notice the font is different. If you're paying attention, it's a pretty big hint that we are no longer taking orders from Lucien. After completing each of the following assassinations, if you bother to search through their belongings, you'll see more hints that the Cheydinhal purification was all for naught. You are still killing members of the Brotherhood. This time, they are high-ranking members within the Black Hand. Lucien catches up to you, ready to strike you down, but the confusion on your face is apparent. You were just doing your job, naive to the fact that you are being manipulated into breaking the tenets of the Brotherhood, which are a set of laws that you need to abide by, otherwise you get kicked out of the Brotherhood. You can still earn your way back in, but we don't need to worry about that here. Lucien realized too late that he was being followed, and his orders were getting swapped out with different ones. Those orders were designed to weaken the Brotherhood, and luckily for us, the Black Hand places blame on Lucien, and not us. Although I still find that weird. I think they would kill us, but either way, we need to find out who's doing it in order to save Lucian's wife. The next drop is located in Anvil, and it's there we catch a Bosmer in the act of placing the next contract. He claims a hooded man hiding his face was paying him to make the drops, and that we can find him living in the nearby lighthouse, where we aggressively demand the key from the lighthouse keeper.
And just why should I give you that?
Look, if you don't, I'm slicing your throat.
Well, in that case, here you go.
Thank you! We head down the lighthouse stairs and approach the cellar, but the sick stench of rotting meat is permeating from under the door. Inside are decomposing corpses of animals and people. The most horrific sight, though, is the rotten head sitting on the central table. This twisted memento and the journal that we find nearby tell the tale of a severely demented individual. While no name is given, we know that the traitor has been planning to enact revenge against the Dark Brotherhood since he was a child. I cannot handle this stench anymore. After reading the journal, we find that the head belonged to their mother, who was killed by none other than Lucien Lachance. That event set them down a very dark path, but we have proof that Lachance is not the traitor, so we need to hurry to his location before the Black Hand gets there and does anything to him. God damn it. Lachance has been brutally tortured and murdered. Although if you've played the original version of the game, that one looked far more messed up. They really toned it down in the remaster for some reason. Unfortunately, we're much too late, and Arquin over here is gleefully claiming they killed the traitor. The man that recruited you, believed in you, and brought you to his side is now dead. But you get a promotion to Lucian's spot, so it's not all bad. The Dark Brotherhood is in dire straits though, so we need to have a conversation with the Night Mother to seek advice. But before we do that, let's have a chat with the other members of the Black Hand, shall we?
Killing Lachance was pure ecstasy.
The four of us attacking him in unison was as graceful and beautiful as a ballet. The flashing of steel, the spraying of blood.
You should take some time to admire his corpse. It really is a thing of beauty. The punctures and slashes are almost poetic.
Yep, this guy did it. Matthew Bellamont does a pretty poor job of hiding his satisfaction after Lachance's death. The others kind of relish in the violence a bit too much, but Bellamont has a specific way of wording things that kind of tips him off. You can also give him a little surprise of your own if you took his mom's head from the lighthouse and throw it at his feet.
You are like an unholy vision. So, what? What is that? Is that a head? No, it can't be. Sorry, Speaker, I'm distracted.
It's such a fun way to surprise the traitor who has done a fantastic job of keeping a low profile up to this point. If you don't toss his mother's head at his feet in the orchard, you can do it later on in the Night Mother's tomb. That gives him a bit of a surprise and allows you to attack first. After having our fun, we travel to Bravel, where the hidden Night Mother sanctuary is located. What the hell, guys? Where's my torch? Inside, the Night Mother appears, and she berates everyone for being so goddamn dumb to let Matthew Bellamont of all people hide in plain sight this entire time. He kills everyone except for us and Arquin, failing to finish the Brotherhood off once and for all. The Night Mother admits she knew all about his intentions ever since his mother's death when he was a child, so at any point she could have stopped this. But why keep inept, inattentive assassins around? She let the Brotherhood reach its brink, purifying it to allow a true assassin to rise up and become the new listener. Us. We are now the ones responsible for ensuring there is a steady stream of death to appease our god Sithis. And from this point forward, we are now the face of the Dark Brotherhood in Cyrodiil. Unfortunately for them. Major props to Emil Pagliarulo, who wrote this particular questline. It's so much different than everything else in Oblivion, it's easy to see why it's a fan favorite. Each contract brings something just a little bit different to the table, and it rewards role-playing as an effective assassin by offering some pretty sweet bonuses. I also really love the fact that this whole story would play out even if you never joined the Brotherhood. Bellamont's plan was going to move forward with or without you, and it was doomed to fail regardless because he can't even harm the Night Mother. You just happen to get caught in the middle of it as the Dark Brotherhood's promising newcomer who climbs the ranks and stamps out his lunacy to become their listener. Let me know if you agree or disagree, and let's talk the best questlines in gaming in the comments. Maybe I'll do another video like this if you guys want. Otherwise, I'm continuing my quest to play every Todd Howard game, so keep an eye out for that. Hail Sithis.